friends and welcome to Obsidian Soft. In today's class, I will teach you how to make a chatting app in MIT App Inventor. You can do general chat with friends or join special rooms for chatting on particular topics such as movies or books. This is a very impressive app and you can ask your friends to download it so that you can chat with them. So let's have a look at the demo. As you can see that we can choose rooms of our interest and then chat in them on those topics. Let's begin. Start a new project. Name it Chatting App. Let's design the screen. So for screen 1, make a line horizontal center. Make screen orientation portrait. And change title to Chat with Friends. I'm going to upload a gradient for my background and I will be also uploading some buttons. I got the gradient background from canva.com and I got the buttons from freepik.com. And I've also resized the buttons after downloading them to be 140 by 40 pixels so that they look appropriate on my screen. So I'm going to go to media and then upload files. I have to do it one by one. Now let's change the screen 1's background to the background image that I had uploaded earlier, background2.png. Add 2 horizontal arrangements. So go to Layout, 2 horizontal arrangements. Make both of them align horizontal center, align vertical center. Height is 10%. Make sure to press OK and width is fill parent. Same properties for the second arrangement. Okay. Add a list picker in the topmost arrangement. This list picker will be used to choose a room. So list picker, drag and drop it here. The elements will be added in the block section, that is the room names. Make font bold, font size is 18. Also rename it. As you know, I stress on renaming components so that your code is more readable in the block section and you don't confuse one component with another. Okay, the background is the image button1.png. Change the text to choose room and the text color is white. Okay, add a label between these two arrangements. This is for prompting the user to enter something. It could be his name and it could be the message. So rename to message label. Make font bold, font size 18. Change text to enter name to join chat and text color is white. Okay, we will be changing the text of this label to enter your message once the user has provided his or her name, and this will be done in the block section. Add a text box in the second arrangement, drag and drop it there. Rename to message text. Change background color to white, make font bold, font size is 20, width is 55%, remove the hint and make it multi-line. Okay, add a button for sending messages. So rename to send button, make font bold, font size 18. The image is the button3.png. Text on it says send and the text color is white. Add a label for specifying the room that the user has joined. So rename to room name. So this label came below the two arrangements. Font bold, font size 18. Text on it is room : general. So by default, when the app is started, every user will be joining the general chat room and then they can change their room. Text color is white. Now add a list view for displaying our chat messages below this label. So drag and drop the list view, rename to message list. Make its background color white and make sure that you make the text color black. Okay. Now, last but not the least, we need a storage medium for storing our messages, and we have to store them in the cloud so that anyone who's using the app can look at the messages. Okay. So go to storage and get this CloudDB. We did the TinyDB for our shopping list. The difference between TinyDB and CloudDB is that the TinyDB is stored on a particular device, whereas the CloudDB, the database, is stored in the cloud, that is on a server, MIT App Inventor's own servers. And that is why anyone who's using this app can see the messages. So the screen design is done. Let's work in the blocks section. So go to blocks. Now we need some variables to make our chatting app work. First one is the room name, which is by default general. Okay. Then we have the username, which is initially empty. Then we need a variable for our joining status, whether the user has joined the chat or not. So this is a logic variable, so it will either be true or false. So in the beginning, it's always false. Once the user has provided his name, we will change the join status to true. We also need a list for populating our room names. So initialize room list, which is initially empty. So go to list and create empty list. Similarly, we have a message list and that will be empty too. So just duplicate chat messages. Now the main code of the app is in the send button click event. We will check if the join status is still false, and then we will check inside our text box whether the user has provided something in it, and then we will use whatever has been provided as a username. So go to send button and get its when send button.click event, and inside it I first need to check whether my join status is still false. So I'm going to go to control and get the if then else block, and inside that I'm going to check if my join status is not false. Basically, not false will make it true, and then we will go inside here. Join status is always false when the app is started. So if I just hover over it, I can get the getter for it. So get join status. So if join status is not false, that is when the app is started and the user has not still provided his name, so not false will make it true, and we will go inside this first condition. The second thing we need to check is whether something has been entered in the message text. So again, go to control and just get a simple if then block and get a not block from here. So there's a block called is empty. So if not is empty, what is not empty? The message text. So message text.text. So if something has been provided in message text in the text box, then we are going to assume that this is the name. Okay. So I'm going to set my username. So if I just hover over it, I can get the setter for it. So set the username to what? Whatever is inside the text box. And I'm also going to change my join status to true. Okay. So if I go to logic, I can get the true block. Okay. Next is that we need to change our message label, which was initially saying that enter your name to join chat, to type in your message and press send. Okay. So if I go to my message label, I can get the set text for it. So set its text to type in your message and press send. Now, what is the other scenario? The other scenario is that our join status is already true. That is, the user has provided his name. So that means not true will make it false, and we will go inside the else condition. And this is the condition in which we are going to assume that whatever is being typed inside our message text is now the message. So we are going to send the message to our CloudDB so that anyone who's using the app can now see that message. Go to CloudDB component, and it has append value to list. So whatever is already inside CloudDB for that tag. Now remember tag. I told you about tag. The tag is a way of differentiating data inside a database. So our tag we will construct in a way in which it will consider the room name too, because our chat messages will be relevant to a particular room. What is the tag? The tag is my room name. So if I just hover over it, I can get the getter for it. And it's a join of room name. And we can have a text that says chat. So this is the way I'm constructing the tag. And every time the room name will be changed, our tag will be different, okay? And the item to be added is, now we are also going to join whatever has been entered in the message text with the username, because we want the username to be part of the message too, so that everyone knows that who has sent the message. So let's go to text and get a join, okay? And it has 3 items, so click on this cogwheel and add the third string to it. So the first string is the username. So just hover over username and get it. And next is a colon. So just get a text log and type in colon, space before it, and a space after it too. The last thing is the message text, that is the message actually sent by the user. In all situations, we are going to empty the message text so that the user does not have to delete the previous message before typing in a new message. So just empty the message text. So go to message and get the set block for it and make sure that it is outside this if else block and make it empty. Okay. So the final send button looks like this. Okay, so we are done with part 1 of this class and we will complete the app in the second class. So if you have liked this video, do share it with your friends and family and please like it. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly do so. See you in the next class. Thank you for watching my video. Have a good day and goodbye.